Hello viewers, welcome to Event College Digital class. In today's class of compiler designing, I am going to discuss about register and address descriptor, code generation algorithm and register allocation and assignment. In the last class of compiler designing, I have discussed about the last phase, which is target code generation, and in that phase number of operations are performed. In this class I will discuss about some operation which are performed during the target code generation. Let's start. First of all, I am going to discuss about register descriptor and address descriptor. A register descriptor contains the track of what is currently in each register. The register descriptor shows that all the registers are initially empty. Actually, what happens when you are writing a program and you are passing the program for compilation, as we have discussed that the compilation process consists of number of pages and your program is passing through number of pages. Okay, the last phase is target code generation, and during the target code generation register descriptor plays very important role, because we know that ALU consists of number of registers and your program instruction must reside at the ALU register for execution, and for that reason a register descriptor is used to show the current status of each register. And initially, before the execution of your program, the register status will be empty. Now I am going to discuss about address descriptor. Address descriptor is used to store the location where the current value of the name can be found at runtime. For example, suppose the instruction is C equal to A plus B, and during the execution it is very essential to know what is the address of A, what is the address of B and what is the address of C. Address descriptor is used for this purpose. Now I am going to discuss about code generation algorithm. Okay, your program must be converted into target code, and for that reason algorithm is used. Let's start. The code generation algorithms takes a sequence of 3 address statements as input. For each 3 address statement of the form A equal to B OPC, perform the various actions. These are as follows. First one is invoke a function get res. It is used to find out the register location L where the result of computation B OPC should be stored. Okay, then consult the address descriptor for Y to determine Y dash. If the value of Y currently in memory and register both, then prefer the register Y dash. If the value of Y is not already in L, then generate the instruction move Y dash to L to place a copy of Y in L. Let me explain it. In the first step, actually register descriptor is used, and in register descriptor get res, one function is associated with register descriptor, and it is used to find out the location of register where the result of computation will be stored. Okay, and in the second step address descriptor is used. Already we have discussed about address descriptor. Here I want to explain you that when you are having a variable in the memory and in the register, then the system will prefer to extract the data from the register for computation. But if the variable value is not residing in the register, then in that case move instruction, assembly language instruction is used to first move the value from memory location to the register. Okay, Then in the next step, if the current value of y or z have no text uses or not live on exit from the block or in register, then alter the register descriptor to indicate that after execution x equal to y opz, those register will no longer contain y or z. It means that suppose you are calculating x equal to y plus z. Okay. During the calculation and just before the calculation, the y value, the z value and x temporary location to store the result, everything must reside in the register location. But after that, just after the end of the instruction execution, everything will be deallocated, and for that reason this step is used to keep track which value is in live condition and which is not in live condition, so that register descriptor will update the status. In this way the algorithm works. Now I am going to discuss about one example how the code generation algorithm is working in case of assignment statement. Let the statement is d equal to a minus b inside bracket plus a minus c inside bracket plus a minus c inside bracket. It can be translated into the sequence of three address code. Okay, what are those? Here you can see that t equal to a minus b, u equal to a minus c, v equal to t plus u, d equal to v plus u. Okay, here let me explain it by using the pen. The statement was initially a minus b, it is okay, but a minus c is used twice. Okay, but we don't need to write a minus c twice, and this is called as code optimization. Exactly, here we have used one temporary variable t equal to a minus b, okay, u equal to a minus c, okay, then v equal to t plus u. When we are using this statement, it means that a minus b inside the bracket plus a minus c inside the bracket is performed. We have calculated that one. Then d equal to v minus u. It means that here you can see that u represents this one a minus c and v represent a minus b plus a minus c. And in this way what we are doing, we are just reusing u equal to a minus c twice, which was in our statements. You can see here that our statement is d equal to a minus b plus a minus c a minus. Here we have used a minus b as t and a minus c we have calculated and stored the result as in y, and we have used y twice. In this way we have performed code optimization and converted into three address instruction. Okay, now I am going to discuss step by step how the target code is generated. Okay, statement, I have used 4 column here. You can say statement, code generated, register descriptor, address descriptor, and initially you can see that register descriptor keeps the track or specify the status that register is empty. Then at the first step we have used t equal to a minus b. Just in the previous slide I have explained how the statement is converted into three address code, and we have used the, you have just picked the first instruction, that is t equal to a minus b. The for t equal to a minus b, the code will be generated as move a comma r0. It means that the a value will be moved to r0, that is the register, and sub b comma r0. It means that a minus b and the value will be stored at r0. r0 equal to r0 minus b. r0 represents a, and for that reason a minus b is calculated. And now the register descriptor status is that r0 contains t. address descriptor status is that T in R0. In this way, register descriptor and address descriptor perform their duty during each instruction execution. Then U equal to A minus C. We know that A minus C is twice performed or executed in the instruction. Here at the first time we are calculating A minus C, and for A minus C the code generated is move A comma R1 sub C comma R1. You can see that already we have used R0 and we are not disturbing R0. We have used another register, that is R1. We are just moving A value to R1, then subtracting A minus C, and we are storing the result at R1 also. And the register descriptor implies that R0 contains T as usual in the first step and R1 contains U as per the second step, and address descriptor specifies that U in R1. Then the next, V equal to T plus U. It means that we are here just executing the instruction A minus B plus A minus C, and here the code generated is add R1 comma R0, very simple, and the register descriptor is R0 contains V, R1 contains U, and the address descriptor implies that U in R1, V in R1. Now I am just moving towards the last one, that is D equal to V plus U, and here the code generated is add R1 comma R0, move R0 comma D, and the register descriptor is R0 contains D, address descriptor is D in R0, D in R0, and memory also. It means that here we have to move the result to the memory, and the memory location contains D variable, and we have to, and for that reason we have to move R0 value to D. In this way the target code is generated for the statement D equal to A minus V inside the bracket, then plus A minus C inside the bracket, plus A minus C inside the bracket. I hope you have got a basic clear concept on the target code generation. Now I am going to discuss about register allocation and assignment, which plays a very major role during target code generation. First of all, we will discuss about register allocation. Register allocation is the process of assigning program variables to register and reducing the number of swaps in and out of the register. Movement of variables across memory is time consuming, and this is the main reason why registers are used, as they are available within the memory and they are the fastest accessible storage location. Actually, we know that whenever we are writing a program, all the variables are residing in memory, and we know also that the fact that we can transfer the memory directly, the variables from memory to the registers, okay, for the execution, during the execution also, but it is time consuming, and for that reason during target code generation the values of the variables are shifted into the register. Okay, now I am going to discuss about the advantages and disadvantages are associated with register allocation and assignment. The advantages associated with register allocation are: first one is fast accessible storage, second one is it allows computation to be performed on them, deterministic as it ensures no miss. Okay, as we know that whenever we are accessing any data from memory, there may be a hit or miss, but if the register contains all the data, then there will be no miss. Reduce memory traffic, reduce overall computation time. All these are advantages associated with registers, and it makes the execution very faster. Okay, but it is also having some disadvantages. What are those? Registers are generally available in small amount. It means up to few hundred KB, and for that reason it is very difficult to spare register to contains the variables. Register size are fixed and it varies from one processor to another. Then the other disadvantages are registers are complicated. It needs to save and restore changes during context switch and procedure calls. Okay, because suppose you are having two variables inside the RAM, those are A and B, and also those values of the variables are residing in registers. Okay, and whenever we are changing or we are altering the values of A, B inside the register, the original value must be updated. It is also lead some time consumption, and for that reason it is considered as one disadvantage. Now I am going to discuss exactly what sort of type of problem register allocation is. Register allocation is NP complete problem, non-polynomial complete problem. However, this problem can be reduced to graph coloring to achieve allocation and assignment. Actually, register allocation and assignment is a very tough problem. It is very difficult to effectively allocate and assign register for the program execution for target code generation, but still it can be achieved. It can be, the complexity of this problem can be reduced by using graph coloring. Therefore, a good register allocator computes an effective approximate solution to a hard problem. The register allocator determines, actually the register allocator is the software or the program which is responsible for allocating register. And the register allocator determines which values will reside in the register and which register will hold each of those values. It takes as its input a program with an arbitrary number of registers and produce a program with finite registers. It means that whenever you are passing a program for compilation and it is passing to the last phase, that is target code generation, the register allocator program will decide which variables will reside in the register and which variables are not, and the values which will be resided in the register, which register will contain those values, everything will be determined by the register allocator. And for that reason, some numbers of registers the register allocator will take, and the variables it will take as the input, and perform some operation, perform some sort of computation, calculation, and generate a finite set of register which will contain your variables, means the program variables. Here I have represented the register allocator in a diagrammatic format. You can see that the input program, n registers, those are passed as input to the register allocator, and it generates output program and m number of registers. Okay, now I am going to discuss exactly what is the process of allocation and what is the process of assignment. Allocation, it maps an unlimited namespace onto that register set of the target machine. Register to register model, it maps virtual registers to physical register but spills excess amount to memory. It means that it allocates the variables, the namespace onto the register set on the target machine. Okay, then register to register models, it maps the virtual register to physical register. And the next one is memory to memory model, it maps some subset of the memory location to a set of names that model physical register state. Now I am going to discuss about the register assignment. It maps an allocated name set to physical register set of the target machine. Assumes allocation has been done so that code will fit into the set of physical register. No more than k dash values are designated into the register where k dash is the number of physical register. It means that the number of physical register available in the target machine should not be used totally for a program target code generation. It means that suppose 20 registers are available, then register allocator must use or should use 10 or 15 registers for assigning allocation and assignment, because the other register are used for other purposes also. In this class, we have discussed about register descriptor, address descriptor, code generation algorithm along with register allocation and deallocation. I hope you have got some basic clear concept about all these factors, but still if you have any doubt, then please write to me in the comment box so that I can clear it out. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great time.